Definity Deep Penetrating UV Foam. It penetrates multiple surface layers to fight the look of discoloration, brown spots, and wrinkles in just 8 weeks. For skin so luminous, it's highly defined. New Definity UV Foam by Olay. Definitely love the skin you're in.
It's Tuesday, June 12th.
How safe is your drinking water? A new report says which communities have had problems.
Plus, doctors told them that their daughter might not live. 5 years later, there's nothing Maddie can't do. Why thousands gather every year for others just like her. Also, all this sun means you should be protecting yourself. But do you know what those sunscreen numbers even mean?
Oh, gosh.
Good question. And beautiful images of a family who just welcomed 6 new faces to the world. WCCO 4 News at 10 starts now.
Right now in the WCCO Plaza, it's 80 degrees, down from our high today of 91, but still sticky. We hope you're staying cool tonight. I'm Frank Vassalero.
And I'm Amelia Santinello. Don is off this week. You know, when the weather is warm, we all reach for a lot of this.
Yeah, indeed. Water keeps us healthy and hydrated from anything from going around the lake to a full day's work. So a report by the Minnesota Department of Health tonight seems a little scary. It found drinking water in dozens of communities has unacceptable levels of contaminants, everything from copper to arsenic. But health leaders tonight say the water is still safe to drink. Esme Murphy explains why.
On a steamy summer evening, water bottles frame a Bayport playground. Sophie Rondo is drinking tap water that her family has filtered.
We just did it for our own reasons, right, and for just in case.
Bayport's water had trace elements of a solvent in it. It's one of dozens of Minnesota communities cited for violating federal water guidelines.
One of the reasons Bayport had a problem is that it never had a water treatment facility. That is until about a month ago when this new plant began treating all of the community's water.
Many residents, including Bayport's Fire Chief Scott Radke, never stopped drinking the tap here.
When you're born and raised on it, I guess you just kind of develop the taste.
State health officials say citizens like the chief shouldn't worry because the trace contaminants are minuscule, often a few parts per billion. Some communities had violations because federal rules have become stricter. Among the 18 communities with too much trace arsenic in the water, Blaine and Warroad. Among the 21 communities with too much naturally occurring radioactive elements, Andover and Anoka. Health department officials insist most communities have already fixed their problem and that a swig of tap water will do nothing more to you than quench your thirst. And I'm here live in Minneapolis in Loring Park in front of this beautiful fountain. You know, the big city water supplies came out very well, as did the bigger suburbs. The bottom line, these communities have had water treatment facilities in place for decades.
Well, Esme, you know, at the end there, you mentioned the radiation, you mentioned arsenic as well. I mean, that all kind of sounds scary. Do we trust these folks, and what can those things really do to you?
Well, it does sound scary, but Frank, this is what the health department says. First, they say radioactive elements, arsenic, are naturally occurring elements. And secondly, the health department insists that you'd have to be drinking tens of gallons of water a day for decades for there to be any adverse health effects.
All right, we certainly hope they're right. Esme, thank you. We have posted the state's entire report on drinking water on our website. Just head to WCCO.com/links. Meanwhile, environmental experts are keeping a close eye on this next danger to our water.
Tonight, police are asking our help in finding the person responsible for dumping up to 30 gallons of oil into a Twin Cities creek. Someone spotted the mess this morning at 46th Street East and Nokomis Avenue South in Minneapolis. The storm sewer there drains right into Minnehaha Creek. Environmental crews spent today trying to clean up as much oil as possible, and they will keep a close eye on the area to make sure they got it all. If you know who may have dumped the oil, please call the Minneapolis Information Line at 311. A mistake by a construction crew has a cable company working all night tonight. Everyone in Red Wing lost cable TV and the internet before 9 this morning. A backhoe apparently cut through Charter Communications' main fiber optic line to the city, and crews have been working non-stop to restore service, but so far only 15 to 20% is back. And we talked with Charter within the last half hour. A spokesman tells us crews will work as long as it takes to get service back to everyone. Tonight, we're getting our first look at some proud and probably exhausted new parents.
Doctors delivered the Morrison sextuplets in the Twin Cities on Sunday night. This evening, Brianna and Ryan Morrison shared these pictures from after the delivery. You can see them here looking at one of their little ones in the hospital's intensive care unit. Mom's reaching out for a touch. Another shot shows a private moment, a hug for support. And finally, a picture of Ryan and the family's pastor getting an update from a nurse. If you would like to help the family by donating your time or money, there's a form to fill out on our website. You can find it at WCCO.com/Morrisons. Those parents have obviously spent a lot of time in the hospital.
And this next Minnesota couple knows what that's like. They just found out that their nearly one-year-old baby girl has cancer. But after the initial shock and fear, the parents of Katie Jacobs are finding inspiration and purpose in an unusual hospital project. As Jason DeRusha shows us, you are watching it right now.
Say hi.
It is hard to imagine there could be anything wrong with Katie Jacobs.
She's been our redheaded gift.
But inside this one-year-old's body, it is a different picture. That white spot is a tumor on her brain. Another huge tumor formed near her abdomen.
Shocking, very shocking. And very, very, very scary.
The doctors here discovered cancer. Stage 4 neuroblastoma was ravaging Katie's body. It is so rare, only 650 kids get this diagnosis every year.
This is where her chemotherapy drugs will go in.
Since early April, this Prior Lake family has made Children's Hospital a home away from home. We went along for Katie's third round of chemotherapy. While she goes through treatment, her parents try to entertain themselves by looking up at this.
Day after day, watching a television that has horrible color, horrible sound, hard to see. There's got to be something we can do to help these kids.
Karen wrote about the junky TVs on her daughter's Caring Bridge website. Her co-workers read it, and within 24 hours, her company agreed to donate $15,000 worth of brand new high-def TV sets. Karen works for a little outfit called Best Buy.
I mean, it's just a phenomenal cause.
And it's remarkable that this came together so quickly.
Yeah, well, we move fast. We like to get it done.
When friends heard about the TV drive, donations came from around the country.
Awesome. It actually makes me tear up a little bit.
Now all the TVs will be replaced. It is a flicker of happiness in such a difficult time.
This is something that will get my mind off of cancer and the nightmare that's going on day in and day out inside the hospital.
Jason tells us Karen is still hoping to raise even more money to buy PlayStations and software and other things to help parents and kids keep their minds off cancer. You can get to the Caring Bridge site through Jason's blog. Just go to WCCO.com/JasonBlog.
Tonight, a Minnesota woman has sore ribs and a bruised leg after a freak accident, or maybe a little karma.
They said I was airborne and I was up pretty high, and then I landed off kind of on the edge of the trail in the woods a little bit.
During a 10K race,